Hello crafters, this is Suzanne from A Creative Muse, and now it's time to do those tags and inserts for your Mother's Day mini album. Yes, the end is here. Alrighty, and I hope you guys are having fun. Some of you have commented that you're loving the series. I am so happy to hear, the positive feedback. I was just, I've been trying to do this. I'm hoping I'm conveying it step by step so it becomes very accessible to all crafters to give it a try and, produce something, a really special keepsake and gift for your mom, or convert it to birthday. Let's get into these tags. I am using this tag set that's available from scrapbook.com. I have my purple tape in place, and I had cut one with the platinum 6. As you can see, it's already, bending my die. So I decided to loosen up the pressure a little bit, and I'm going to use my scrapbook.com magic mat. I know it's been in stock, out of stock, in stock, out of stock. I will link it below, seeing that I'm mentioning it now. For a machine like this, where it has a lot of pressure, just like the Gemini Junior, they're great for intricate die cutting. You run it through once, everything pops out. But I like to cut a lot of foil, as you guys know. Too much pressure on foil. So I'm backing off the pressure, and it's a lot of pressure for something like this. So my first sample tag I had cut before I even started filming, it's already kind of embossing into it. It doesn't need to do all of this. Even the edge here, I have embossing happen, and it's just too tight. And I haven't even tried it with the gold foil yet, which I know it's gonna end up crushing the foil. And I like my gold foil to look more smooth, not crushed. Alrighty. So on the tag set, if you decided to get this awesome tag set, which for my seasoned mini album makers, this is a nice essential. Trust me. All the variations. I did number these. At the time, I know it says 14 pieces, but I had misplaced one of these pieces and then I lost my mind. So I was like, let me number the dies. And I think it was one of these that I lost. So the best way to store this, maybe on a magnetic sheet. I had put a magnetic sheet here. I kept the packaging. I could now change it to something else because I do have bigger storage to hold this. The largest tag measures, which I'm not using for the album. I'd have to have a taller album for it. 7 3/4 by 4.5. And even though it could technically fit, it would just be all tag. You wouldn't get to enjoy all of this. If the tag is so high like so, all you're seeing is tag. So I use the second one just to give you a little bit of, enjoying the pretty paper. And it can still hold a photograph. So that's number 2. Now here you have an option with this set. And I'm going to show you real quick. Do you want a small hole for the tag? Or do you want a large one? I normally, for the bigger tags, I would say up till about number 5, I would use the large one. And then for the smaller tags, I'd use the small. Then these are the reinforcers. This is the one I use for the gold foil, and you'll see that shortly. Alrighty, so I'm gonna run one tag out of here. Let me get the pattern paper. So this is the pattern paper from the front of the mini album. And let me line it up like how I did. I kept some of this white. You can shift it if you want. And I kind of, how I take off some of this going on at the bottom. And just line it up, line it up, line it up. And then I use some tape. And I'm going to cut off the excess because I'm not using a extended cutting mat. I was feeling better yesterday. And then I went out, and then now I'm not feeling so, then I wasn't feeling great last night, then I went out again earlier, and now I'm not feeling that great. So if I sound all weird again, Yeah, blame it on my allergies. Alrighty, so I'm using the Magic Mat, like I said, to take off some of that pressure. And on my Platinum 6 die cut machine. The table may shake a little bit. Oh, see how light it is? Oh, that's nice. When I was using both plates, it was running through like. There we go. See, it did cut it. This is a straight cut anyway, so it doesn't need all that excitement with a ton of pressure. But it's nice that with this mat, it gives me options. And there you go. So with this, I can either put this piece in or not. I love that. Because it depends on the tag. Sometimes we'll do it, and other times it's like, no, I just want it to be photo and that's it. I don't want to have to do a reinforcer. So that's nice that it comes that way. Most of them don't. You know, you have to punch it yourself or something like that. So you line it up like this on the cut side. I just put a piece of purple tape, and then this is purple tape to hold down the paper. Let's go one more time with a sheet, because most of my sheets in there are white. Let's go, this second tag measures. I'll tell you in a second. Gosh, I'm just piling up. Oh, now you're seeing my real crafting. This is how I do it. I just throw it on top. Let me look for the ruler. Where's my ruler? Where's my ruler? There. Okay. So this one is 4 1/4 by 7 1/4, number 2. That's a good size. Can still fit a 4 by 6 photograph. Sometimes I do it just like this. I'll put it on here and just cut. Or you can measure it out, you know. I can go 4 1/2. Just don't cut the die, right? Just to take off some of the width on the machine. Because when you're cutting a die like this, you don't want to run it in straight. So let me show you what I mean. You end up wearing down your machine and putting a lot of pressure on the die. When you run dies like this is something I learned from, I can't remember who. Maybe it was Stephanie Bernard, or maybe it was Jennifer McGuire. Tilt it. Takes off less pressure. You won't hear the click, click. You won't hear the heavy clicking. It'll just run through like butter. Oh, it took off a nice amount of pressure, but it's gonna cut. Let's go one more time. Alrighty, so line it up, and I'm going to now, so you want to put it at an angle, and I learned this tip, I think it was Stephanie Bernard from the Stamps of Life. Just put it at an angle that'll take off the pressure off the die and the machine, and these dies are open, so that's why it's curling. Just run it through. We run it back. There, it caught on the end. This machine isn't bad. Not killing my shoulder, so that's nice. But I still like my Big Shot. Because of the chrome precision base plate, I can just, you know, put it down. So there you go. I pop out the die. Pop this out. Ooh, look at that. And there's your tag. Alrighty, now we're gonna do the reinforcer for the tag. Now, as to not bruise your foil, so you only pretty much cut what you need. This amount can make a whole bunch of reinforcers. So I'm only gonna cut a piece. That's how I do foil. This is that foil pack, the Park Lane, relatively inexpensive, but nicely done. $2.49, and you get 8 sheets. This lasts for a while. If you find it in the store, people like me, I'll buy 2 or 3 pads. So I think other crafters do the same thing. Now I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive on the back. Yes, I am. Where's my adhesive sheet? Got my Sizzix adhesive sheet. There we go. I'm going to use some, sometimes I'll have little pieces left. I'll use some of my adhesive scraps. I keep them in the pack and then use them from time to time. Let me cut this down now. I'm not using that other scissors. I don't want to gunk it up. And I'll just measure it like so. And that's how I do the adhesive. That's how I don't waste, and I, you know, get the most out of the adhesive sheet, because they aren't cheap and they are not free. So, you know, and then some places sell them for $8. So it's like, no, get the most out of it. Or if they still have it on clearance at Michael's, grab a few. I just watched a haul video. I think it was Mommy Loves Gigi, and I was like, oh, she went to Michael's and I think she found some other stuff on clearance. So I may have to just, you know, pop in for a second and see, maybe they'll put some more adhesive sheets there. Alrighty. So let's run it. Let me get the come down to about here, and what I'll do, ooh, piece of adhesive on foil, not good. I cut a little square like so and run it, because the more you run, the more the pressure gets on here, it'll start bruising it, unless you want that look. You know, there is a time for that look, for that sort of a distressed look. This is not the time for me though. Put it like so, and I like how this stays flat. That's another benefit. This reminds me of my Chrome Precision base plate. I only have to end up using one cutting pad. Let me see if it goes on one. Yep, it went through on one roll. Okay, the adhesive came off already. There we go. Not too much pressure. Where's my pokey tool? Pokey tool, where is it? I know I can use release paper, but I'm not the biggest fan of release paper. I don't like, sometimes it just adds more to everything. So here you can see just two little pressure points here, but that's not so bad. That's pretty smooth. I'll run the next one with the plates that come with the Platinum 6. I'm not going to use this, and let's see the difference. And then I just stick it on. There I go. Cute, cute, cute. Easy as that. Alrighty, let's run it with a piece of foil. Why not? Okay, let me go like so. Let me come like so. You guys know I love my gold foil, or any color foil actually. All the colors, especially, you know, that new set that I got from, if you watch my haul video, my recent haul video, that new set that I got from Joann's. Oh, love it, love it, love it. All right, so as you can see, I'm using the messy plate as my cutting plate, and then this one as my top plate. Then I'm going to run it through. There we go. Oh, you can hear that. Yes, this machine, my friend didn't use this at all. It's pretty tight. So this is what I was saying happens to foil when you run it through a machine. The excess. See how it's bruising? There you go. Can you see all that great bruising? There. It's all bruised and all messed up. The foil is supposed to look like close to that, where you can see my phone. Like that. Alrighty? So cut off what you're not going to use. Don't run the whole sheet through. Alright? It'll bruise and it'll be a mess. Okay, now we're gonna pop it out. I know I'm gonna have to, yeah, it's tight. And it bruised in here too. See? That's what pressure does. That's why I like to use my Big Shot a lot. And it's time to do these inserts for the Mother's Day mini album, which Mother's Day is Sunday. So let's get started on this. Alrighty, this is the Second copy of the original Mother's Day mini album, as you can see. Hopefully you guys have reached this point. Maybe you've made some inserts yourself. So for most of the inserts, I use the Recollections white cardstock, the 65 pound. I did not use 110 pound. 110 pound is going to add bulk. So if you're going to load up this album with photos and matting and everything else, all that you add to this album just keeps adding more and more bulk. Similar to how we had the cover, and just by wrapping that basil added 1/8 of an inch to the length of the album, and that's why everything all of a sudden got into that 5/8 of an inch, 3/8 of an inch, etc. Just keep that in mind. So that's why I don't use 110 pound on the inside for these type of things. All right, especially if it's something that folds too. If you're gonna make a little booklet, no. All righty, let me open up my existing album. All righty, I'm trying to get my mind together. All righty, so first up, this video was shot in 2 parts. Last week before I went away, I shot the tags, so I'm going to have to kind of edit it a certain way. But right now, I'm going to now do actually putting them in, and also the photo mats and all that. So for the tag portion, this is that tag set. If you did order it from scrapbook.com, which is the only seller of this style of tags anyway, it's not going to say Umbrella Crafts, but it's the same exact thing. Now, for card makers, maybe you don't need this, but for mini album makers, oh, this is a lovely set just to have to add to your arsenal of dies that you use on a regular basis for tags. I did not use this tag because it would just take up too much, but you could use this widest one and just crop it. It is, let's see, call it 7 3/4 of an inch by 4 1/2. That would be perfect for photographs and still give you a little extra to mat with. That's the only thing that's missing here, is that it doesn't come with an internal matting layer. Wouldn't that have been nice? That would make it like the perfect mini album die set, actually. Yeah, they should sell a second set to mat all of this. But anyway, moving on. Just cut a rectangle and put it in there. It still looks good. But let's see. I had cut on the last video. So I had cut this tag, and I had also cut some of the reinforcers. And once you put adhesive on the back, the adhesive sheets, it will sort of hold your die cut pieces together. Sometimes it's annoying, but most of the time it's actually quite nice that it does that. Okay. Oh, have a little bit of residual die cut pieces. Alrighty, so there. So that's that piece, which inserts here. And when you're inserting something in the pocket, it's going to hit that flap when we were making the pocket. Just sort of wiggle it. Okay, so right now it's hitting the flap. See how high it is? You want to kind of keep going, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle until you hit down. So see the difference in height? Here I am hitting it, that little flap. Here I am actually fully inserted. Especially if you're going to mail this. You want to fully insert everything. And I guess right now it's kind of too late to mail, but if you're going to make like a birthday version of this mini album, or let's say you want to make a Father's Day version of this mini album, etc., let me know if you guys are interested in how I mail mini albums, because when I mail this to friends and, you know, as gifts, I kind of package it a certain way so as to avoid the album doing the dreaded, the top is here and the bottom is over here. You know, like I don't want to do it, because once I start putting that pressure, the paper is going to start molding if I slide it. But it can happen. And you really don't want that to happen when you are, you know, sending somebody something like this. So if you're interested in packing, let me know. Let me get out one of the white tags. So the die I used, I believe, no, it's not number 3, it's number 2. And I numbered this tag set just to, you know, I just didn't want to lose the pieces because it's a really nice tag set. So I numbered them. And I've had this for years, and I'm glad that they still sell it. You know, I think a lot of crafters don't know that it's there, and I like, for mini album making, definitely that it can fit a photograph straight on it. You don't have to, because most tags are going to give you the 3 5/8 by 7 inches tall. This is giving you width and height, which is really nice. Because if I wanted to normally cut a tag like this, I'd have to go into my Silhouette or use We Are Memory Keepers punch. And if you're interested in how I can manually cut dies, let me know. I'll show you how we mini album makers use We Are Memory Keepers punch to achieve that. It just won't have this deep of a slope. So here are the 2 tags that I had in the front. And here, for this part, I had used just a little, I'll show you. Just a little decorative piece. This is a AliExpress die. I believe that's Alina Crafts. If I can find it, I'll link it. Maybe I did link it before. This is just that same flower set. Any flower die set, even the one that I showed yesterday from the Brilliant House store on AliExpress, that could work perfectly here. Just layer up 2 pieces and keep it flat. That would be nice. These little dots that you see there, whether it's in gold or in this color, it's the center from the reinforcer I'm using. Yeah, save all your bits. They come in handy. And I was gonna do here in pink, and it just wasn't looking as nice. It was looking too much pink when I did it up here, so I decided to do gold just to continue the gold that's on the tag. So here we already matte that. And, oh, and I was supposed to show you guys how I stamped this. Let me do that too, as this is going to be the last video in this series. So let me go get my stamp and I'll be right back. Okay, so I am back. Here's a quick sidebar on how I do the place photo here stamp. If you did buy it, I will link it to a guest on the Judy stamps. I have 2 versions of it. And this is for, yes, again, mini album makers, or even if you're doing scrapbooks and you're leaving this open and you can either write place photo here. I like the stamp. I do like, or whichever version of stamps. But what I did do, if you're wondering, why do I have 2? For the longest time I had 1, and these are both super old now. But when I stamp on black cardstock with the white, it was hard to transition back between black and white. It was just, one was leaving residue from before and all this drama. So what I did, the black is dye ink, and in most cases I'm using distress ink. The white to stamp on black and be seen will be white pigment ink. Now, white pigment ink is a very slow drying ink, and I'm standing up just to make sure that I'm in focus. This is the one I was using for many years, the Memento, right? No, Memories. Isn't it Memento? This one, Memories. The Memories Unicorn ink. And then there's also the Hero Arts Unicorn ink. I know that this one is harder to find. This one is easier to find. I will link both below. Definitely will link this one because I think this one may be a little bit harder to find. And if you stamp with pigment ink, you're going to have to let it dry, or everything that's stamped here would transfer over to here. So I used to let it, air dry and all this drama, and then I realized one day I can just fix that problem real quick. All right, so I take my distress ink like so. And I have stamped upside down, so I learned always look at the orientation before I stamp. Tap, 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 and go straight on. There we go. Now, right now, it's wet. So if I flip this over, it can, mess up my page. So this is what I do. Again, the same Post-its. Cover it up with a Post-it, keep it moving. And that's how I do it now. So Post-its are very handy for mini album making. There we go again, another Post-it. Especially if you're working with the white pigment ink. White pigment ink, still let it, you know, kind of dry just a little bit. Or maybe I wouldn't do the heat setting because you are, you know, there is adhesive underneath all of this and you don't want to start raising up stuff that doesn't need to raise up. But at least here, when, you know, with the white, I let it air dry a little bit. Then I still stick my little Post-it and I keep on going. So that's the end of my sidebar. You can use big Post-it. In most cases, I'm using this size, this little cube. That's my little crafty cube of Post-it. And so it's just sitting here drying and doing its thing. Alrighty, let's go back. Oh, and here we go again. Okay, I can't help it. I cannot help it. I'm seeing it. It's looking at me. You say, stamp me, stamp me. There we go. And same thing if you do this on a scrapbook layout. Just cover it. Alrighty. So here, oh, this one is a booklet. Yep, this is a booklet. All right, let me measure what the booklet is. So the booklet is 9.5 inches wide by 7 3/8 of the way. And we're going to make this little booklet insert. So I said it was 7 3/8 of an inch. In between 1/4 inch and 1/2 inch is 7 3/8 of an inch. And then 9.5, oh, I don't like this edge. 9.5 inches right there. There we go. So now we're going to score on the 9.5 inch side, which is half of that will be 4 3/4. So just do a nice score down the middle. Move your board out the way. I wonder if you guys got a Teflon bone folder. Where is my Teflon bone folder? Okay. Jeez, that would not be, I still can't find my regular Teflon bone folder, my first one. I know it's here, around here somewhere. I just don't know where. So, for this, you could do it this way, or in this case, I did it this orientation to fit behind this pocket. It's gonna fit like so. And again, there it goes, behind like that. Here are 2 scraps that were used to make that piece. Let me take a closer look. Did I layer one on top of the other? I think I did. Okay. So here, I would, where's my ruler? Where's my Tim Holtz ruler? Oh, it's in my, I didn't finish unpacking all my crop stuff, did I? 7 1/8 by 4 1/2. That's what I'm going to cut this down to. 7 1/8 by 4 1/2. Let me cut that 7 1/8 first. Nice that it's right there after 7, right there. 7 1/8 by, and that's a good photo mat right there by itself. 4 1/2. I like this side better. 4 1/2. Nice 1/8 of an inch border right there. There we go. And then this would be the same, let's see. So that would be 7 1/8 also for this piece, this little section right here. Alrighty. So I'm just showing you this process because I know if this is your first time doing this type of thing, it's nice to see step by step even how to make an insert, you know. And this is just layering pretty paper. That's why these strips are really nice for scrapbooking and mini albums. They really come in handy. So 7 1/8 again. Right there, so I get full flower detail. As a matter of fact, that's exactly what I did the last time. Alrighty. So let's put that together real quick. Oh, where's my ATG gun? Did I not take out my... Oh my goodness, I don't have my ATG gun on me. Okay. I did not unpack everything from my crafting on the go kit. Like, where the heck is my ATG gun? Alrighty, so you would use your ATG gun here. Okay, so I just unpacked the rest of my little bin that I carried. I had the pink buttons, which I need for this. I think I need. And then my Tim Holtz ruler and my ATG gun. And I finally peeled off all that gunk that was floating on my ATG gun. I realized I'm not at a crop. Nobody's gonna, you know, accidentally pick up my ATG gun. My name is on it anyway, so I may find another flourish to put on it. A flourish for 2021 in celebration of the first crop I'll go to later on this year. Maybe I'll do that. That'd be nice. Get a rainbow. Maybe a rainbow would be cute. I notice a lot of crafters on YouTube are doing projects with rainbows. Everybody wants to smile. Okay, so again, this is one that opens in this orientation. It flips up. So remember, oh, well, in this case, I have my flowers going this way, but this case, I'm going to have them going that way, facing up. Remember that the orientation is a little bit wonky with these flowers. Unless you want your petals falling. Then do that. Here we go. Then this is going to go right here on top of that. So in this case, I'll use some of my cherry tape. I ordered some more cherry tape the other day. I'm liking this cherry tape. It's just easy and quick. Scrapbook.com is still out of their scrapbook.com tape. And no, I have not ordered any Scor-Tape. I have a bunch of Scor-Tape, and I'm just hoarding my Scor-Tape because I don't want to, you know, buy a ton of Scor-Tape. I can get other things instead of Scor-Tape. Yeah, Scor-Tape is pricey. But if you visit your local scrapbook store, you know, like once a week, pick up a roll of Scor-Tape every time you go. All of a sudden, you'd be like, oh my gosh, look at all this Scor-Tape I have. And 1/4 of an inch is like the most popular size. Nice to have 1/8 of a roll inch just for that thinner need. You know, if you need a thinner tape. But the 1/8 of an inch it has hold, but it's not crazy strong. I'm standing up again because I'm lining straight up again, 2 fingers for the height. And I'm going to go here and here. There we go. Stood up for that. Oops. My chair. I changed my chair because I realized that my other chair was killing my back. So here are the 2 versions. Look exactly the same, right? You could do this. See that? That could be like nice on a scrapbook page. Alrighty, so that goes in. That's that insert for the back of page assembly 1. So we had 2 tags, and you could just do a rectangle here. This could be a rectangle that measures, let's see, call it 4 1/4 by 7 1/4. So let me show you what I mean. And notice, if you didn't notice, but I'm going to say it now, I purposely did not use corner rounders. Yes, you can, you know, add little rounders, but I didn't want to add to, if you don't have a corner rounder, you're going to have to go find one and buy one and spend all this money. I purposely kept this album square and rectangular so you could just use your trimmer for it. So you didn't have to go buy that also. But corner rounders are nice if you wanted to add that. And the thing about corner rounders, once you add them, you know, yeah, you can do them on the photo mats. But if you add if you round all the pages, you're gonna have to start rounding pretty much the entire album. So 4 1/4 by, and see right here, I don't know where 7 1/4 is, so I'm going to guess, because that's the blind spot here on this trimmer. There are 1 or 2 spots where it gets a little blind spot, but it's okay. And then, so you can also, if you don't have a tag, you could just add the photo mat like that if you want. You could also make it specifically for a photograph, which would bring us from 4¼ down to 6¼ then a 4x6 photograph will fit in here with a little space around it. That can work as well. Let me see. Let me show you what I'm talking. Because I know sometimes it's still nice for you guys to see. Especially when you're new. You're like, what is she talking about? So let me show you. So this is 4¼ inches. And then I'm going to rotate it down to 6¼ So your photo mat can also be this style. Let me take out one of the photos that I'm going to put in my, so I'm going to spend probably tomorrow. That's a 4x6 photograph of my mom and I, right there. And then I would use Scor-Tape. Yes, I said Scor-Tape to put this down. I would not use the ATG gun. This is going to start lifting and curling after a couple years. So I would do it like that. And then I could take this and insert it in here. See? I could also crop that same photograph and put it here. That's kind of cute too. Both of us in almost the same glasses, I know. Okay, this is dry, so I can move that. And so that's another option if you don't have the tag set. Either straight 4x6, 4¼ by 6¼ for a 4x6 photograph, or if you want to keep it to this same height of this. And if you do this as a rectangle, you could put the photograph and then you could put a little strip here. Where are my strips? This could be down here, just a strip of it. See what I'm saying? You could do that too. Just cut a little piece and have it matted in here, and then you could have that as well. That's another option. Have fun with it. Have fun with it. I didn't do all of that, but I'm just showing you the options that you have once you start working with photographs and filling up this album. Okay, so those are the two tags. That's my little photo mat, a real photo mat for a full 4x6. And you could also do it for 5x7. That would be 5¼ by 7¼ inches. And that would be a 5x7 photograph in here. Alrighty, all of this is dry. That's the reason why I like to use the Distress ink in Black Soot. Did I tell you the color that I use? Black Soot. Black soot, it dries very quickly. That's why I like to use it. Okay, again, I would do here with a, oh, and I did here with the oval. This oval, which is a 2-layer set. I did do the little tag, which would go here. And that was using tag number, from the biggest counting down, 8, number 8. So this is like, in total, this is 9 tag sizes that you're getting in this die set. No, 10 tag sizes that you're getting, because we also have the itty bitty. That's why I also number it too, and then these extras. And I'm glad that they put that is 14 pieces, so in case I lose one. Oh, did I tell you I lost a die for a flower set? I was, you know, trying to make a Mother's Day card while I was away in Orlando, and I lost the center of the flower. Oh, that was depressing. And I'm looking and I'm looking. Okay, so here's just a standard photo mat, exactly what I just did. And that's for this insert. And I'm looking, oh, I was so upset. 4¾ inch by 7¼ goes there. So this is from, I'll just show you, there it is. And why I do it at 4¾ and not go higher, the higher I go and the longer I go is the more I'm taking away from this. You can do that, but I kind of like seeing what's behind it. I like to see the pretty. I like the pretty to continue. So that's that simple insert there. Another one I did here, this is that striped paper. So this is a scrap, 4½ by 5. And I put a little photo opportunity in here. Let me stamp it out. And you notice how the black soot stamps really clear. Why? This is a rubber stamp too. Wood mounted, so that stamp works very well. And if you are going to buy two, buy them all at the same time. The shipping is not the cheapest in the world, so just buy one for black, one for white, and you're done. I've had these for a million years. That long. That's a very simple insert. It's just this put on top of that. And you can round the corners here. Like I said, I purposely did not do that just for, you know, crafters that don't have a corner rounder where you round those corners. And it would insert in here. In here now I don't have to cover it because you won't see it if it transfers. So that's fine. That's that. Here now on this page, again, I do tag, 2 tags, actually it's 3 tags, but 2 tags, that same number 2 tag, and I did have the reinforcer. So let me go from the new set, the old set, put the new ones over here. And then I even took this stripe and made a little tag. That is a piece of scrap. Like that. And I'll tell you what tag that is that I used for this. This one inserts in here, and it's using the small opening with the small reinforcer. Now, why I kept the purple tape there, just to help me put it into the tag, and it still has a little bit of stick. I'll change it out when I need to. I think it's nope, it's not number 7. Tag number 6. And what I use to number it is just a Sharpie, just going from 1 coming down. So number 6 would be, so actually the 6th die in from the top is this, with the small hole and the small reinforcer. Now the reason why I like to definitely put this set on a magnetic sheet, the tags I don't have a problem losing, is this. These reinforcers are very specific to this set. So, you know, just be mindful. I actually have 2 sets of this. I have one for, you know, my craft room, and one set for my crop bag. So when I'm at a crop and I need to make tags, because tags go with everything, whether you're doing mixed media, all that good stuff. So that's what I had cut this little scrap down with. Flip it again. What did I do here? Let's see, I made a booklet. So let's make this little booklet. Alrighty. This booklet measures 10 by 6 3/4. So here we go. And I was thinking you can use pink if you want, no problem in that. But I realized if I had used pink, it was clashing with this pink. I tried one and I was like, no. I did the white like this for contrast. And in mini album making, contrast is always important. You don't want it all to look exactly the same. 6 3/4 first. I'm using this little edge here as 6 3/4 by 10. And then I'm going to score on that 10-inch side at 5. Right down the middle. Simple. I hope you guys are starting to get the hang of this whole scoring thing. So on the 10-inch side, the longest side, right down the middle at 5. Where's my pink scoring tool? I have my other scoring tool. 5. Fold it over. And yes, burnish. We're still into burnishing. Burnish. There we go. So here we are. Now I'm going to take this from the cut apart, which I have right here. I can see it. There's a cut apart. So with this, I had kind of worked it in such a way I could go straight on like so without the pink, but I did do a little contrast with a little bit of pink. So we're going to come back to our pink buttons. I hope you went and got it the other day. I think when I was away, I saw that Michael's had this cardstock, this size, the 8.5 by 11, on sale for $3.99. I know. I was thinking about going to Michael's, but I was like, no. But it's kind of nice when you're out of town and go to a craft store that's not in your town. It's kind of nice sometimes to do it. It's like, oh. But then if you buy a bunch of stuff, then you're like, I don't have space in the car. Okay, so that's 4 3/4 by, should be 6.5. 4 3/4 by 6.5. And I knew that, but I'd rather measure it just to be sure. 4 3/4 by 6.5, because my mind is still not at 100%. My mind is at about 80%, but I needed to do this video for you guys. 6.5, because Mother's Day came up quick. So if this is 4 3/4, then yeah, 4 3/4, 6.5. Then this here would be cut down to 4.5 by 6.5. No, 6 1/4. 4.5 by 6 1/4. So it's already at 4.5. So everything I did, I actually made this card from this size and by 6 1/4. So I cut off some of this gold. I didn't need it to be so thick. And this, oh yes, you can save this. I'll show you how I would use something like that. Because you save all your little scraps in mini albums, because you'll be surprised how a little scrap can all of a sudden become exciting. Okay, so I applied, I used my ATG gun and I applied adhesive, rolling in what I see exposed. Don't forget to do that. Good practice sometimes. Good practice all the time, actually, for mini albums, because pages will stick together once they come in contact with each other, like a magnet. There we go. Okay, I should have stood up for that, but it's okay. Here now, we're going to go in here and we're going to mat this one as well, so we get a nice little border. So this is a double matting process. Getting that little bit of pink. Here, I'm going to, again, roll that tape. Roll that tape in and apply it. Centered. There we go. Now, before I did it like this, where I use a flower die, I believe that's still from, the Little Darlings. Most of those flowers came from Little Darlings or something from my stash. And what I'm going to do this time, just a little bit different, just to show you something new. I can stick this up here too. The piece that I had cut off here, I can reuse it up here and get a different look. So, of course I don't have 1/8 of an inch here. Oh, of course not. Oh, all right, let me use wet glue. I would use 1/8 of an inch score tape. This is a little bit under for the 1/4 inch, so I can't use a 1/4 inch. But in this case, I'm going to use glue, which I really don't want to do. So if you have 1/8 of an inch score tape, go ahead and use it. And my glue is all watery. Why is my glue watery? When your glue is watery like this, which I can't figure why, one, I'm going to clean that up. Use your fingers and just smooth it out. Try not to touch the front, because the if you're using wet glue, it'll transfer onto the, and it is doing it. Oh, this is upsetting me so much. Wet glue does show on foil, as you can see. But I'm just showing you for demonstration purposes. That's what that little strip can be used for. So save your scraps. Go through them and use them in all different kinds of ways. If you have a punch, a decorative punch, oh, this glue. Perfect time for you to add a little decorative punch if you wanted to have. If you had a scallop here, you could, all kinds of things. And there we go. I did a little flower, that little booklet in here. You can put 2 photographs. You could crop photographs and then add some more of the decorative element in here. I could continue. Okay, let me show you what I'm saying. Why not, right? Why not? I know the video is getting long, but I'm teaching you a whole bunch of options too for this insert, and that you can use carrying forward for your future mini album making. So let me show you exactly what I'm talking, how I would do this. Why not carry that gold forward? So let me come here. Hold on, let me line it up. I'm using that wire to line it up nicely. And this is what I would do. Oops. So I have here, now on each side, 5 inches, I would go, would I go 4 7/8? Yeah, I would still do 4 3/4, just because I don't want to hit it too close to here. That may create some bulk. That's another reason why the matting is nice. So for the left side, seeing that this booklet opens like so, I want the first statement to be clean. Everything else, it can cut off in half over here, but our eyes are going to read this way. So in this case, this part should be, I'm going to start here as my first cut for 4 3/4. Oh, that's perfect. Look at that. And then the other side, 4 3/4. Ah, nice. Can save that for something else. So let me show you what I'm saying. We could do this. And let me use my ATG gun. So I could actually reverse them if I wanted to. I could do cheers to you on this side and do the plush, or I could reverse it. Seeing that both didn't cut off, I kind of like the cheers to you on this side. Decisions. Mini album making is all about decisions. So that's the cover. Make sure that I'm not doing it upside down. And another option, I could do it here too, but I like it at the bottom. So I'm going to center it. So center it here, here, and there, like so. Come over here now and center it as well, continuing that line of the, okay, I'm sitting down and do this. Hopefully I'm straight. I feel I'm straight. Yep, I'm straight, thank goodness. And then up here now would be my photographs. Now, I could mat in here to put a photograph, but I don't want to add too much bulk. So if I was to do that, I could do this, stamp it in black, but for the sake of not having too much bulk, I would do place photo here. And if you are making the photo, let me tell you how much the photo would be if you're going to crop it down. It would be 4 3/4 inches wide by, I'm going to tell you in a second, 4 3/8. That would be, so 4 3/8 tall, 4 3/4 inches wide. So you would probably take, in this instance, a 5x7 photograph and crop it, or use your 4 1/4 inch photo, but you're going to have a little gap here. Let me show you what I mean. If I do a 4, see, that's 4 1/4. So I said, what did I say? Yeah, I did say 4 3/8. So 4 1/4 is giving me a lot of too much clearance here. We could finish off this by now having the pretty continue on the inside. Or don't add that strip, and then you could crop down a 5x7 photograph. So there it goes. So that's the page 3 assembly. Almost done. Here we are now on page 4, which, okay, I want to stamp, but I'm not going to stamp to drive you guys crazy. The back of the page 4 assembly, it's this one. This one is a little bit interesting. Alrighty. Well, let me show you in case you like it. But this was me just playing with scraps. All right. So let me go through it. And by doing it, you can also learn the process. So when you have a ton of scraps, hope you got your 13 by 15, you know, bags. Like I tell you, these things come in very handy, very, very handy for everything. Card making, scrapbooking, mixed media, everything is good just for storing your papers and storing everything tall. Because even if you do 6 by 6 pads, if you buy sticker sheets and all that type of stuff, all those things are very long. These can hold everything together. Okay. Ooh, I had to go on a scrap hunt. Not a scavenger hunt, but a scrap hunt. Oh my goodness. All right. So you can see exactly where my scrap came from, and I'm going to cut that little yellow piece off. So this now, the insert, which is another booklet, and I believe this is for a 4 by 6 photograph exactly. I'll tell you in a second. Oops. Nope, it's for a little bit. You'd have to crop down 4 by 6, but it's okay. I downsized it because of this piece. So it's 6 inches wide, and I believe 8.5 inches long. So again, take another sheet of your white cardstock, or if you have some nice big scraps. Okay, what did I just say? 6 by 8.5. So there we go. Keep this scrap. Definitely add it as another insert. Now, when it comes to inserts, try not to over insert. It gets overwhelming if you put too many inserts. And if you are giving this to a non-crafter, keep it simple. And I learned that lesson the hard way. Giving somebody something complex, and they were like, "Oh, that's great." And I could tell that I was like, "No, you don't like it, and you don't even know what you're looking at, do you?" It was just too much. And doing hidden pages and all that was just like, "Oh no, huh? What? Huh? What?" I was getting that whole look. Alrighty, so this would be 5 3/4. I'll tell you. Let me measure it out. 5 3/4 by 4. It's a little off here. It's okay. See, those things drive me crazy. 4 by, and I'm taking off that yellow, 5 3/4. I don't know what that yellow piece is there. There we go. Just take that off, dump that. And then here I go. Look at the orientation, remember? Oh, you know, this glue is still on my hand and it's still here. Oh, flip up just to make sure your orientation. What we're looking for is a flip up, because it's going to go into a side loaded pocket. And then we're going to mat this. So put this one first. Use your ATG gun or double-sided tape, cherry tape, Scor-Tape. If you really like, you have a couple rolls and you're like, my mom is worth every roll of Scor-Tape, go for it. It's just gonna take you longer to, you know, do the double-sided tape. Roll the corners in, and I still have glue. Yeah, what glue? Ugh. Alrighty, there we go. And burnish. I am taping this at night and I'm starting to fall asleep. Oh my gosh, if I don't make any sense. All right, now with this, you could put it on just like that, but I decided to go all wonky and fun. So what I did, I was mimicking this diamond, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So here, are we exactly at 4 inches? So I have just a little piece here that I want to take off, that little pink piece. I gotta go get my Tim Holtz trimmer. Maybe I can use this one, but let's see. Sometimes this one, when cutting something that small, no, let me use the Tim Holtz. The guillotine will cut it cleaner. Now you see why I have more than one trimmer, right? But this is definitely my crop trimmer. And I'm going to just cut off a sliver, get that 4 inch. That's a sliver. Exactly that. Now I'm going to go back to the other trimmer because I can see the guides easier on this one. And I believe I did 1/2 inch. All right, let me show you exactly how I would do this as a newbie. Brought the camera down, and I'm going to show you how I do the 1/2 inch. Here we go. This is when Tim Holtz becomes really nice. Tim Holtz ruler goes. Let me stand up and show you. Tim Holtz ruler goes 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch, 1 inch, 1/4, 1 1/2. I'm looking right here for a 1/2 inch all the way around. So I'm going to show you how I used it now to create this. And the camera can't go in tighter. So I'm lining up this 1/2 inch mark on top of that goal line, like so. Take a pencil and lightly just do. Again, turn the corner. And the beauty of this ruler too, let's say I was like this. Because these are all here and they're marked so well, I can line up here too in it to make sure that I am straight. So I'm going 1/2 inch down, and I can see right there that I'm straight. It's a very good ruler. Fiskars has some rulers too, because I do, when I first started out, I was using Fiskars because I was making projects for my daughter's school. I was volunteering, and that's what got me into scrapbooking. But I was making projects that were 4 foot by 6 foot. I was working banners. Maybe that's why I always like things so big. All right, let me get on that line. Yeah, I haven't done that in years though. I think the last time I did a banner was for my son's job. And he does computers, and they were like, oh, Donovan, can you create this graphic thing? And then he comes to me, Mom, I need a banner. And I was like, really? I had all this big roll of paper that they sell like at Michael's and stuff. Rolled out 5 foot by 3 foot. That's when I used my electronic die cutter, because of course the letters have to be big, but it was fun. I do like that. So if you're a mom of a young child and the teacher is having a theme, I'm using the little string here to line up on there. You know, that's a great thing to do. Take not poster board. Poster board doesn't hang well on the wall. You need that light paper. They do sell it at Michael's and everywhere. Well, Michael's and Hobby Lobby would have it. I'm not sure if Joann's has it, but they're rolls, and they're about like 4 feet wide and maybe 20-something feet long. And you roll them out on the floor and you make the project on the floor. Oh, it's fun. I had so much fun cutting out letters and colors, and yeah, I kind of miss that. And my best friend, who works in the school system, I made a few projects for her. She called me once, Suzanne, can you make me a Dr. Seuss banner for the kids for some reading thing? Made that. One time it was for Black History Month. Made all of that. Another time it was for the graduates. Made that. So crafting, that's another way of stretching yourself. Okay, so here, that's how I did it. Need to cut off that piece of gold right there. Oh, I think I covered, in this case, I can see I covered it up. All right, let me stay here. After my whole sidebar, right? Okay, I can use a pair of scissors. But I don't like using scissors because sometimes I just don't cut straight. But I'm pretty good with these Martha Stewart sliver. If you see these at Michael's, at your Michael's, on she came back to Michael's and then left. So if you see it on clearance at Michael's, pick it up. Those scissors are excellent. Only for paper with no adhesive on it. That's how I use it, because I use it for fussy cutting, as big as it is. And there's a shorter one to it, but it just doesn't feel natural in my hands. And that's how you should always use tools, not because somebody tells you, like if I tell you, oh, that tool is great. If it doesn't feel natural to you, don't use it. Find the tool that feels natural to you. You know, for me, that scissors is the most natural. The Tim Holtz for more rougher cutting. And if I have adhesive, this scoring tool, but they don't sell this anymore. This is Martha Stewart too. Very natural to me. This one was when she came back to Michael's, not as natural. But, you know, unfortunately though, it's going to be a trial and error. But once you find what feels natural to you, oh, be loyal to it. because it will serve you time and time and time again. I'm using the cherry tape here. Remove the adhesive. Remove the adhesive. Remove the adhesive backing. Oh, you guys can tell I'm getting tired. I didn't eat dinner. It's getting late, but I wanted to definitely get this going and edit it and load it up for you guys, because you can spend your Friday afternoon, Friday evening. Hopefully I'll have this up by tomorrow morning, Friday morning. If not, it'll be up by definitely Friday afternoon, because these longer videos take me a while to upload. But you can definitely work on these inserts. If you want, work on it with me, because I'm giving you it at natural pace. So you can definitely just have all your scraps ready, have your white cardstock ready, your trimmer and your scoreboard, and you're good. Oh, I went to Tuesday morning earlier. Again, nothing. But I asked them, I said, how's the crafty lady? And the ladies looked at me like, what? I said, the crafty lady. I said, the one that comes here and buys everything. She's like, oh, we haven't seen her in a while. And there still wasn't nothing there. So I think it's just my store. Okay, I'm going to center. Hopefully I'm centered on both sides. Let me see. Wait. Oh, there we go. Just a little rip, but let me stand up. See, I tried to sit down and do this. Okay, let me put my fingers again. Remember, fingers are here. And I'm standing up, trying to center. It's the sides I'm having issues with. But I want the top. Yeah, that looks good enough. And the bottom, center. There we go. And there you go. That's how I created that. If you want, the inking would make it more distinctive. How I made it distinctive was using the flowers. And this again, flowers from my stash. There is the center of the reinforcer from the tag die set as a center. Hey, you know, there's nothing wrong in using that. Use what you have. And that's it. We just did this. And I'm going to insert it here. And why I didn't make it too much bigger, I was enjoying beautiful pink, and pink. If you do this in the blue, you could still keep this size. Try not to go so big that all you have left showing is this. It takes away from the fun. It takes away from the fun. And you can always add more inserts after. But in the initial gift giving, keep it like this. They'll love to be like, oh, it's so pretty. It's so pretty. stamp. I would stamp here. Here I could, you know, write something, or if I have some small dies. I wish there was a small die that said best mom in the world. That would be great, but you know. Last page, I did some tags. So again, I have my white tag with a reinforcer. This is tag number 2. Okay, there. See how I'm hitting and it's up the top? Remember, fish it, just gently push it in. Don't jam it in because this paper is still soft, and you'll come down. You want to be about there, all the way in, especially if, yes, you're shipping it. This was a mistake that I made. Cut the wrong size. I can put it in here. It wasn't in my first example. And I also did this. So this now is scraps. I believe, yep, this scrap from what we did before. And you can see it's a perfect match. Look at that. I dropped the die on it and made florals. So if you don't want to do the white, you can do it this way. And then I put a rectangular photograph in here. Let me tell you what size tag this is in case you do have this set. It's tag number 4. So remember, number one is the tallest, coming 4 in, and this is that one. So that's tag number 4, big reinforcer. You could use a small one too, whatever you like, but I think for the bigger tags, going closer to number 1, the bigger reinforcer just looks more appealing to the eye. And I also matted 4.5 by 3. Just to give you, and I did it, and I didn't do it out on the 1/8 of an inch on each side. I wanted to enjoy the flowers, and that's how I did that, okay? And that would then tuck in here, tuck in here. So in here, we have 4 tags, and it's still all flat. Love that. Try not to do too much bulk. Here now in the original album, this is a Stamps of Life die, and it's a circle with the dots, and I use that. You could use just a circle die. I'll tell you how wide it is, 4 inches, and then this one would be little bit under 3 3/4 in one of the cutter parts. You can use that, and I adhered it down. Also, here's another option for you. You could also, now why I don't like using, see how we were making the booklets? Don't make the booklet in cardstock. Once you score this and fold it, it's going to start cracking. Do it in cardstock. That's for my newbies. This will start wearing and tearing, and literally tearing. Try to use your pattern paper just cutting straight for matting. Once you start to fold and you want to turn this into like a little booklet, cardstock, okay? That's my last tip. So I know it's tempting to go like this, but it's just going to be like torn in a few months, and it's not going to be pretty, and if you dress it up, then all of a sudden it's all falling apart. I would score this in half, put the paper here, and then embellish it if you want. And I think that's it, folks. I think that's it. I hope I gave you more than enough information on the tags and inserts. Mini album makers, I'll say it a 4th time or 5th time. This is the set to get from scrapbook.com. If you are thinking about it, think about it quickly. This has been there for years. I don't guarantee it's going to be there forever. So, and the price point is not bad. I think it's $20. I believe $20 or maybe $22 or something. I will link it again below. I'll still link that same list where this is in there. But I suggest getting it before it disappears. Because this is not one that you can find everywhere. It's only on scrapbook.com. But this will give you years and years and years of tag fun. let's say you get into that whole mixed media thing and you want to make a mixed media tag or a tag flip book, use that large ring. This is a set to get. No, it doesn't cut something heavy like chipboard, but I do love it and I highly recommend it as a great tag set. Most tag sets is not as comprehensive. That's why I keep stressing this one, because it's the all-in-one. Alrighty, folks. So let's go back into tying this again. I need to practice anyway. So remember, tie, loop, and loop. And then remember working with your left hand to get that. See, by doing this, I'm still getting my practice in. And mini album making is all about practice. Doing this bow thing is about practice. There we go. Okay, zhuzh it a little bit. It's not that bad. And I have some more mini albums that I'm halfway done, and I'm going to, finish them up. Sometimes I just get stuck on covers. I like overthink covers, but I'm going to also show you guys soon about three mini albums that I have. Alrighty, crafters, that was fun. This ends the series. Mother's Day. If you want to treat yourself, especially my mini album makers or my scrapbookers who are using photomats, this is a fantastic set. That's from Judy. And my mini album makers, get both. Black, white. Don't try to mix them. I did that. I had this one before, a couple months or maybe a year before having this one, and I was just like, oh, just got to get another one, because the pigment ink and this ink was just messing up everything. So, and as you can see, I've cleaned this with wet wipe and all that, and you can still see how messy it is, but it works. Rubber stamp. Alrighty, guys. So hope you enjoy this series. If you do make this mini album and you show it on your YouTube channel, please give me just a little bit of, just give me a shout out. Maybe link my, video series. Link probably from the first video, the mini album reveal, and definitely give Kathy King some credit for the hinge, please, as she does have a license for it, and she will appreciate that you gave her a shout out. She has some really wonderful tutorials for the newbies. Get her back to basics. I will link it below. I forgot to link it before, but I'm definitely going to link it now that seeing that I just said it. And it will be listed as B2B, back to basics. So get that tutorial. Do treat yourself, and she'll show you more. Now, I plan my next mini album. I want to do a Father's Day version, but instead of using that outdoor paper, I was thinking about it, but I thought I want to do it in coffee style. So it's going to be a Father's Day mini album, but with coffee. I have that coffee paper line that I needed to make a mini album. And what my plan is, same size, just to continue building up on what we did before. And so it's like beginners part 2. And I'm going to use pretty much these same pages, but in a different orientation. And just by orienting the pages a little different, the album will look completely different. And I just want to show you in real time how my process is, just to help you give it a try and have fun with it. Mini albums are very addictive. Trust me, I got rid of all my scrapbooking. I still have stuff upstairs, still have my big albums, because I never know when I'm going to go back. But I did mini albums for many years. COVID hit, and now I'm like, okay, I love cards, and I love my slimline cards. Anyway, guys, thank you so much, guys, for participating in this wonderful series of making mini albums. I'm so honored that I was able to help you guys and also teach it, and I hope you loved it. And until the next video, and until the next Beginner Series 2, one step up, stay crafty, my friends. Bye.